What's going on, everybody? Afflicted Gamer here. Welcome back to another Division video. So it's Friday, it's time for the weekly vendor reset. You know what that means. I'll go from place to place, easy checkpoint to checkpoint to find out what the best items are for sale this week in the Division to save you guys the time and the trouble. So if you find the video helpful or enjoyable, drop a like on it. It's much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more Division content. Friendly reminder to always double check the blueprints vendor here in the terminal and the one at Camp Clinton. Now this beginning portion, I had to redo the audio over. For some reason the audio has been skipping lately, so my apologies. Anyways, other than the RPK, that was pretty much everything that I could see here. I own the rest of the other 256 blueprints. So for the exotics and the rest of the gear, anybody that is new to the vendor reset videos, if the score is low but the talents are good, then I will recommend the weapon or piece of gear, because Division Tech is not that hard to come by. So, you know, I would not pass it up if it's something that you're looking for. It's got the right talents on it. Pick it up, optimize it, and you're good to go. So here I was just going through the exotics. They weren't too bad, but nothing that really stood out. Honestly, I would just wait for probably a better week. Savage gloves, though, pick these up if you need them. 1225 stamina with assault rifle damage, crit chance, and crit damage on them, so those were pretty good. And there is also a prototype performance mod down here with 7.5% support station range, I believe, which is what you're going to see next. Other than just down here, everywhere else I point out just the best items that are for sale in the light zone and of course in the dark zone. So my apologies for the noise that you're hearing now in the background. It initially wasn't here, but like I said, the audio was skipping and I really didn't want to put that in there. So anyways, that is it. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on, and you guys will hear the original audio for the rest of the video. In the base of operations, come on over to the weapons vendor. There is one item for sale here, which is an extended magazine, 118% mag size, 4% crit damage, and 5.5% rate of fire. Definitely grab a few of these and throw them on your weapons if you don't have one with a higher percentage. Okay, moving up to the Cavern Safe House. He's got one item for sale here, which is a prototype performance mod, 2% pulse critical hit chance. 2% is a max roll, so if you want to stack up your crit chance, I would go ahead and pick some of these up. Okay, next up at Camp Clinton. Don't forget to double check the blueprints vendor, and coming over to the exotics for this week, they're nothing special, to be completely honest. The Historian isn't too bad because it has 170% headshot damage. Determined, Meticulous, which is what I would reroll for something else. And of course, History Repeats. Pecan, 19% damage to targets out of cover with Unforgiving. Commanding, which you can reroll for whichever talent you wish, and then of course Pecan. And as per usual, yes, you will have to optimize those. Lightwood M4 is not good, sadly. I don't recommend anything with focus on it. Sorry, that's my personal take on it. But if we scroll down, there is a decent specialized backpack if you're going for a Hexo build. 1117 stamina, which you can reroll or optimize into a higher number. Over 13,000 health and bleed resistance in the minor. I would probably reroll the bleed resist for ammo capacity, but that's just me. The choice is totally yours. Other than that, that is pretty much everything up here at Camp Clinton. Prototype performance mod, 7.5% support station range. That was the final item that was up here.
Hey, catch you another time.
Catch you next Friday. Another stop up to Wolf's Den. There is a real treat here, especially if you are new to the Division or a returning player. First, lightweight M4 with 22% enemy armor damage. Focused, reroll that for something else. You've got Unforgiving and Competent on it. Absolutely grab this if you don't have a lightweight M4. And to go hand in hand with that, pick up the small grip, 18% crit damage, 4.5% reload speed, and 2.5% stability. You've got a great combination there. Don't pass those up. Out of town at the Crypt Safe House. The weapons vendor has got one item here, which is the infantry MG5, 20% damage to targets out of cover. Determined, Vicious, and Unforgiving. So you can keep that as is or reroll it however you wish, and don't forget that you have to optimize it with that low score. Either way, it's a good set of talents that you can keep or reroll.
Oh well, catch you later.
Next stop down is the Firewall Safe House. The gear vendor, I'm a little bit on the fence with this, but again, you pretty much have to optimize everything. A Relentless backpack is great if you don't have one for a skill build. 1204 electronics, over 11,000 skill power, and burn resistance in the minor. So, because you're using a skill build, you really don't need the ammo capacity. You can leave the burn resist, so I would probably reroll the skill power, get it up to over 13,000, then optimize the electronics and go from there. Pick it up if you absolutely need it. And this here, the Stamina Mod, 262 stamina and just under 3,000 skill power. So if you're desperate for these, grab some for now until there is a better one.
Don't worry, it happens.
Scoot on down to the Southpaw Safe House next. For those of you that like electronics mods with a little bit of health on there, there is a really good one here. 265 electronics with over 3,000 health. Grab as many of these as you can because I usually don't see them that often for sale in the weekly vendor resets. The Ward is going to be your next stop. For those of you that have missed out on the Damage to Elites mods, well, you are in luck this week. 198 firearms and 3% damage to elites. If you need them, get them while they're here. Everything for sale in the light zone, which for the first time in a long time I must say was quite a bit. 5th Ave will be your very first stop, and we have a prototype performance mod. 6% first aid self heal, 6% is a max roll, so if you don't have 6%, grab them, put them on your build, especially if you're a solo player. Trust me, these things are awesome.
If you don't want to buy, someone else will.
Probably. Jeez, bullies, man. You make your way on over to West 31st Street, and we got some explosions outside, but we got 2% pulse critical hit damage, prototype performance mod. So if you want to use your DZ funds, I would go ahead and pick this up. On top of that, if you did miss out on the suppressor from last week, there is a loud vent break this week, which is not too bad. 17% crit damage, 2.5% crit chance, and 6% headshot damage.
I'm sure you'll be back.
One more stop up at West 34th Street. I'm a little bit on the fence with this one, but for those of you that are a fan of the classic M60, 20% damage, 2 targets out of cover, deadly, competent, and fierce. Fierce is in the free slot, which means you can reroll it for whichever talent you wish, so pick it up if you are still a fan of the M60 and are in need of one. Make your way up to West 46th Street, and he's got one item for sale here, which is a Vigorous chestplate, 1227 stamina, 7% skill haste, over 16,000 health, and ammo capacity in the minor. So definitely don't pass that up if you want that for a Hexo build. And these vendors always seem to interrupt as I'm talking. But yeah, don't pass that up if you're looking for a Vigorous chestplate. Okay, and the final stop of the week is up at the Park Ave DZ checkpoint. And again, there is one item for sale here, which is a machine gun, 20% damage to targets out of cover on this MG5. Destructive, prepared, and competent. You could leave that as is or reroll it however you wish, and of course don't forget to optimize it. So that was everything that we had for sale this week in the division. Honestly, probably one of the best weeks I've seen in a long time in terms of having a different variety of items, especially if you are new to the game. There was plenty of things to pick up. The MG5, the Light M4, the small grip, extended mag. You're pretty much set up this week for sure. So anyways, guys, that is it for me. I'm out of here. Once again, drop a like on the video if it was helpful. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at AfflictedGamer, and the stream times for me to be live here on YouTube will be at the end of the video. Other than that, have a great week, agents, and I'll see you soon in the next video or in the next live stream.